Good morning, TVs, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome to you as well. My name is Jennifer, and this is my channel. I am currently doing a July weight loss journey challenge, and that is with keto, kind of like a keto reboot. I was on keto last summer, I believe it was, and off and on trying to be through the rest of the year. Didn't really do well. Last summer I did do well. I lost approximately, I think it was 60 pounds. Did really well until I decided that I wasn't going to do it anymore, and then I gained it all back. So here I am, and in a few minutes I'm going to show you everything I ate on Tuesday, which is my 7th day of keto. And it's currently the lights in my eyes. 7:03 a.m. on Wednesday morning, July the 8th, and I stepped on the scale this morning, and I'm going to share my weigh-in with you, and I'm going to tell you how my week went, and then like I said, after I do that, then you'll see everything I ate yesterday and kind of some things that went on yesterday. Not a lot of things, just little clips of things I wanted to include in my video. So my first week back on keto. It went really, really well. I have to say that I'm feeling a lot better already. My heartburn is gone. I was having almost nightly heartburn when I was eating fast food and junk and just eating late at night. I'm trying not to eat as late at night, and I'm trying to do intermittent fasting as well. Not every day is an intermittent fasting day. Not every day I make it to 16 hours. Sometimes I just make it to 12 or 14, but at least I'm trying. Beginning this week, in my second week of keto, I'm going to try to be more precise with my intermittent fasting, try to make it at least 16. I'd like to bump it up to 18 eventually, but for right now, I'm going to shoot for this week to be on point for 16 hours of fasting for the entire week. So I'll let you know next week how that goes. So like I said, this week was very good. I had everything. There was only one time that I did have something that was not keto, and I did not show it to you guys. It was over the weekend when I wasn't filming everything that I ate. 4th of July, I was worried that I was going to get off track. I was going to eat something that I shouldn't. The cheesecake that I made really helped for the 4th of July weekend, and you're going to see that video recipe coming up probably tomorrow. But on the 4th of July, I did have a 20-ounce bottle of Coke, regular Coke. And I shouldn't have done that, of course. It's not keto. Of course, we all know that. But that was my only misstep the whole week. And I'm okay with that. It's not something I'm going to allow myself to keep doing. I can't really say it was a mistake because I was well aware of what I was doing, so I don't really think it falls in the category of a mistake. I wanted it, I craved it, and I just gave into it. I really haven't dealt with any bad cravings this week, and like I did last time, it's not something I'm going to be eating on a regular basis, but in the first week or so, to get myself kind of weaned off of the carby sweet foods that I'm eating, I try to eat some other things that are sweet, dirty keto, of course, like the Quest bars. I had a couple Quest bars this week. I had one of those, I can't remember what the name of it is, live bars, I can't remember. That was higher in carbs, and I'm not going to be purchasing those again, but the Quest bars I will purchase again in the coming weeks when I need something sweet. Somebody had suggested to stick it in the microwave for a couple seconds, and then it was really good that way. So I'm going to try that. The Snickerdoodle Keto cheesecake bars really helped as well. My sugar-free gummies were helping. I do need to increase my veggies. We're in between pay periods right now, and money is very limited, so I don't have funds to get a lot of fresh vegetables. I do have a lot of frozen vegetables, and I do have some asparagus in the fridge that I need to eat up. But I'm going to try my best to incorporate more vegetables this coming week. And it's just been going really well. I want to make some deviled eggs, and because deviled eggs is good for protein, very low in carbs. All right, so without further ado, I'm just gonna show you my weigh-in, and then we will get on with my clips from yesterday, what I ate, and some little things that I did. Let me remind you where I was at. Last week on July 1st, I weighed in at 570.6. And today when I weighed in, early this morning, it was like 6:30 when I weighed in. I was excited. I got up, used the bathroom, and got on the scale right away. So here is my weigh-in from just about less than an hour ago.
Hello. It's ready. £561.4 pounds.
So as you can see, this morning I weighed in at 561.4, and that is a 9.2 pound loss for the week. Very happy about that. Extremely happy. I can tell the difference. I'm sure looking at me, you're not going to be able to tell a difference yet. It's going to take a while. But I can feel a difference. I don't feel as bloated in my stomach. The part of my stomach that hangs down on my legs, it doesn't feel as heavy and bloated as it usually does. I've started to have a little bit more energy. On Saturday evening, I was having, this is another reason why I drank the Coke. I justified it as this, but there was other ways to avoid this symptom. But I was having a headache, and I think it was my body detoxing from the sugar, and the easiest thing for me to do, and I just justified it because I wanted a Coke. I grabbed the Coke and my headache went away. I'm starting to get kind of leg cramps a little bit, or I can feel them wanting to start, so I'm going to need to work on the electrolytes. I want to get some of the sugar-free Gatorade to drink, and then there's this, I drank it before, and I can't remember, you make it with pink Himalayan salt and water, and there's a name for it, but I can't remember the name for it. A lot of people were concerned because some of the foods that I was eating is kind of high in sodium, but you need the sodium in your diet to replace what is lost so your electrolytes stay in balance. I know that there are some supplements. I need to get back to read what those supplements are. I think it was niacin, if I'm not mistaken. I have the bottles of it from when I did it before. I just need to pull them out and start taking those. So all in all, it's been a good week. I am very encouraged. When I see the scale move like that, it gives me the encouragement to keep pushing forward and not give up. Before, when I was barely seeing the scale move, I would get discouraged and think, why bother? Why bother depriving myself of this food if I am not going to see any results? And with keto, that's the greatest thing with keto. I don't feel deprived. A lot of people are on both sides of keto, think that it's not healthy. My doctor did clear me for keto. I think I've told this story in the past, especially when it very first happened. I'm playing with a little notepad that I wrote my weights down on. When I very first started, maybe not very first started keto, but when I was doing keto before, when I went to my doctor, I asked her if keto was okay. When she was doing my blood work to make sure everything was going okay, there was a doctor in the practice, the head doctor had used keto and lost, I forget how much weight it was now. So she was totally on board with me doing keto. My blood levels were all fine. My cholesterol and blood pressure, sugar, all that kind of stuff is fine. So that's the reason for the sodium. You need to keep your sodium levels up so you don't get cramps and all those other kinds of things during keto. Somebody else can explain it a lot better than I can. I am nowhere near an expert at keto, obviously, and I recommend Keto Diamond. She is like the keto queen and knows everything there is to know about keto. I also enjoy Christy Davis. She knows a lot about keto, and I get a lot of good ideas from her of food to eat. And in fact, I'm going to be meal prepping some of her ideas this coming week next week, starting Sunday, to try to get myself a little bit more prepared. Dinner is the hardest because Gene is not doing keto, and I'm sure that he would have no problem doing it with me. He supports me 100%, and he is very proud of me. He was ecstatic this morning when I weighed in, and he was very proud of me. But for right now, he's not doing keto, and I don't want him to be deprived of food just because I'm not eating it. And I know that it's not the cakes, cookies, that type of thing. He has his little stash of food that he keeps in a special place where I can't get to. And honestly, I haven't even been tempted. I know that it's here. I could probably get to it if I wanted to. It's clear in the back of the closet, and there's a bunch of like totes stacked in front of it. And I would have to like really work to get it if I wanted it, which if I really wanted it, the motivation would be there, but I don't feel really that motivated to get it. I have my little treats, and I feel okay with that. But like I said, dinner is usually the hardest to prepare for because I'm trying not to eat a breakfast. Well, my first meal is like a breakfast food usually, but I'm not eating 3 meals a day usually. If anything, it's 2 meals and a snack. It could be considered as a third meal, but I'm okay with breakfast, dish, and lunch, or the first, let's just say I eat 3 meals. The first 2 meals I'm okay with. It's just the third meal, the dinner meal, when I have to think of something to make Gene. I mean, of course, he's a grown man. He can make his own food, but I want to do that for him. I'm his domestic little housewife, and I want to prepare food for him, prepare his dinner. I feel like I want to take care of him. So I've been trying to think of different things to make him that he can have left over for a couple nights where I don't have to think about cooking every night for him. Or there are some nights where he just prepares something himself, or if we're just having chicken in that, he's totally fine with that too. And then he'll just open something, to put with it. So there you go. There's my weigh-in for this week. 9.2 pounds gone, and I cannot wait for next week to see what next week holds. And now stay tuned for my day yesterday, which is my day 7 on keto, and I'll show you what I ate and a couple of things I did. Yep, that's it. So I will see you guys back tomorrow with another video. Stay tuned for the clips from yesterday. Bye, everyone. First task of the morning. Do the dishes. Dishes done. Next task, cleaning out the air conditioner filters. Filters are clean and drying. It's 7:52 a.m. Just thought I would show this to you. Gene made coffee yesterday morning, and boy likes his coffee strong. It's literally sludge at the bottom of this glass. I use what's left in the pot and I put it in the fridge for iced coffee for the next day, and it's literally sludge down there. I think he likes his coffee a little strong. So this is what I'm going to start my morning with. A big old thing of iced coffee. It's cold coffee filled with ice, 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and one of my syrups from over there in my collection. I'm having mint chip this morning. It's the one in the back with the pump, and it's green. So a little minty coffee, iced coffee this morning. And like I said, it's 7:56 a.m. and that's what I'm starting my day with. I have my Bath & Body Works candle melting on my warmer, and it smells so good in here. It smells like strawberry pound cake for sure. So that's what I've got burning over there. So it's 12:02 p.m. and 12:03 p.m. and I'm going to get ready to make my first meal of the day. But before I do that, I am going to put together dinner for Gene for tonight. He is not doing keto. Although maybe in the future he will join me, but right now he is not. So I try to think of something that I can make that will last, like he can have it one day for dinner and then maybe lunch the next day, or a couple days later have leftovers, whatever he decides he wants. So I'm gonna make tuna noodle casserole. It will be very easy for me to not eat it because, for one, I'm allergic to tuna. Well, not allergic to tuna, I'm allergic to fish. And tuna, it just grosses me out. It smells like my cat's food. So it will not be hard for me to not eat this. I don't have any of the actual noodles for the tuna noodle, so I'm using spaghetti noodles, and we'll see how that turns out. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, and I did look up a recipe, but then I'm going to just kind of go partly with what I read and partly with what I remember, and then just add the other stuff. So in a bowl, I'm going to mix up 2 cans of tuna, a can of peas, and a can of cream of mushroom soup. I may need 2 cans of cream of mushroom. I'll see how much that is with the pasta after it's cooked and in the casserole dish. So I'm going to mix that all up and boil my noodles. My water is coming to a boil over here, and I'll show it to you once I get it in the baking dish and ready to put in the fridge for later today. So here's my progress for my tuna noodle casserole so far. I have my noodles cooked. I'm not sure if this will be enough. I may need to add some more. We'll see. And then I have my tuna and cream of mushroom and peas in here. It does not look good. Hopefully it will taste better. The seasonings I've used so far, this is totally, I just pulled some seasonings out of the drawer. I have salt and pepper, of course, celery seed, chives, and dill. So we'll see how that tastes. We'll see how this goes. And I will show you back once I get it all mixed up and in this casserole dish. Alright, that was plenty of pasta, and it was a perfect amount to fill up the baking dish. So it's now 12:30, just under a half an hour. I have Gene's dinner ready. I might make him some biscuits to go along with this if he wants some. I'll have to ask him later. And I'm just going to throw some foil on this and put it in the fridge until this evening when I put it in the oven. I'll probably bake this at 400 degrees for 20 minutes or so, just until it gets bubbly and all nice and yummy. And then I'll probably put some Parmesan cheese over the top or some mozzarella, whatever he prefers. Alright, you can check back when we have our dinner to see what he thinks of it and see how it turns out. And now I am going to start on my first meal of the day for myself. Alright, it's 12:54 and I got my first meal of the day made. I have my favorite as of late, 2 truffles that's made with 1 egg and 1/4 cup of shredded mozzarella, a half of an avocado split between the 2, and 2 servings of the pre-cooked bacon, which is 6 slices. There's 4 there because I've already eaten 2. So, oh, and then I also put some pink Himalayan salt on top of the avocados. Oh, and there's also everything but the bagel seasoning in the truffles. And then I'm also having my 32 ounces of water. So that's the first meal of the day. I'll see you back in a little bit. Alright, it's almost 3 p.m. and I'm going to make some of the keto-friendly sugar-free gummy bears for a snack tonight, either after dinner or before dinner. I don't know, probably after dinner. And so what I'm going to do, I've shown this video, or I've shown this on my channel before. So what I got here is a cup of water, and I have my gummy bear molds over there. And this is going to make, usually it fills up this whole entire mold perfectly. So I have my cup of water in here. I don't have the heat on yet. In that, I'm going to dissolve 3 of the packages of the unflavored gelatin in the water. I'm going to make sure it's all dissolved with my spatula before I turn the heat on. Then I'm going to turn the heat on medium and I'm going to bring it to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I will be back with you and show you what's next. Alright, now that I have brought it to a boil, I've removed it from the heat and I'm going to add one of the sugar-free drink mixes. This is the zero sugar Kool-Aid in the cherry flavor. I'm just going to go ahead. I have experimented trying to use 2 packets, but it makes it way too bitter. So sticking with 1 packet is perfect. And you're just going to stir this until it's well dissolved. Right now that it's dissolved, I'm going to use my little squeezy thingy, syringe, and I'm going to fill up my gummy bear mold, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, I have my molds all filled up. I was able to fill up all of the bears, and then I used this bigger mold, and I made, let's see, 6, 7, 8 of the bigger gummies. So that's 1 batch. I'll probably share these with Jean, I'm sure. I won't eat them all, but they will be delicious and a good snack for after dinner when I'm craving something sweet. Alright, I'm going to stick these in the fridge. You really do want to work kind of quickly with these because it starts to set up pretty fast. Also, you want to put your molds on a cookie sheet. That'll make it easier to put in the fridge so you're not spilling it everywhere. Alright, I will show you when they come out. It only takes about a half an hour, if that, to set in the fridge. I usually leave it in there longer than that because I forget it's in there, but it doesn't take long at all. Alright, I'll be back. Just made the coffee for tomorrow morning. Got it all ready to just press start. And now I'm going to go work on some crochet projects for the next hour and a half or so. Okay, so the ending of my what I eat in a day for Tuesday isn't going quite as planned because we have no power. We have a flashlight. I was gonna look at the clock, this clock on the stove, but it's not there. I think it's around 7.
Here. You always have a watch right there. Just look right there.
There's nothing on your arm.
No, your arm.
There's
it's
nothing
your
on
watch.
my arm.
It's your personal watch.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
right. It's about 7 o'clock. I was getting hungry and I have no clue when the power will be back on. So I went ahead and I ate 2 raw hot dogs and a string cheese. And now we just finished a video for Keto Snickerdoodle cheesecake bars. And I drizzled over it some sugar-free Nutella. And that's what I'm having after the 2 hot dogs and string cheese. Not the best dinner. No vegetables included in that because I have no way to cook a vegetable. And I don't have any raw vegetables. So
You can open up the canned good and just eat it.
cold.
Yeah.
I'm not that inspired. So, as of 7 o'clock on Tuesday evening, this was my second meal of the day. Keto cheesecake bar, 2 raw hot dogs, and a string cheese. I'll check back with you in a little while, maybe. Hopefully that I can charge my phone because my phone's about ready to die. Alright, it is now 10:17. The power is back on, and I'm taking out my gummy bears from their molds. You can see that there's a row almost missing, Vernon Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody
Good
was
stuff.
snacking on my gummy bears. So I'm gonna finish unmolding these. I think I'm gonna have a snack because the 2 hot dogs and a cheese stick just did not do it. Probably gonna have some chicken. I'll show you what I have, but first we're gonna go outside and end the day outside like always. And then I'll be back to show you what I'm having for my snack and the last thing that I eat for the day. Right, Vernon Eugene?
That's right. Snack pack Little Jack. Go out for a little evening kiss.
All right. And I know when I posted on Instagram, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, a few people asked me about if it got hot in here when there was no electric and what caused the outage. It did not get it got warm in here, but it didn't get like overly hot. It was in the lower 90s to upper 80s today, but we keep our apartment very cold anyhow. So by the time the power was only out for, how long was the power out? Like 3 hours or so?
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours, yeah.
So by the time it started getting warm up from the coolness started leaving, the power come back on. So it all ended good. As for why the power was out, I really don't know. There's a transformer across the street. It blows on a regular basis. That's what she said. And like probably every 3 months, for absolutely no reason, it just blows. And it just picked tonight. And it was just perfect timing because that was a Moo sighting. Do you guys want to see Moo? Do you want to say hi to Moo? It was perfect timing because Gene had just walked through the door. So at least he was home. There's my Moo baby. There's my Moo babies. Who is that? What's Cat Daddy doing over there? He's trying to get your attention.
Trying to get his attention for the camera.
Oh, my beautiful green-eyed baby boy.
Yeah, it is pretty.
He's a beautiful boy. You had enough?
Yeah, he's got that pissed off look.
Mm-hmm.
He's not completely at
He
peace.
got stank eye. Okay, go get Cat Daddy. Or just walk on the counter, that too. Probably not a good idea. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna finish unmolding these gummies. We're gonna go outside. And then I will be back to show you what I end the day having. See you guys back in a few. All right, this is what I'm gonna end the evening with. This is just a small amount of chicken. Probably, I don't know how many else. I didn't measure it, let's just be honest. And about a tablespoon of mayo and about 6 pickles, all cut up into like a chunky chicken salad. I'm gonna eat that and my gummy bears and drink a diet 7-Up. And that's going to be what I have for the rest of the night. That's it. Want to say goodnight? He's getting shy. Say goodnight.
Good night.
Alright, we'll see you guys again soon. Hopefully you've seen my weigh-in before this. If not, then stay tuned for the weigh-in and me yapping. I don't know. I might have yapped before this. Not sure what order it'll be put together in. So, if this is the end, see you tomorrow. If this is not the end, stay tuned for the next clip.